maybe take away his vision, use some strength and power. So maybe Tony Parker doesn't. And here is Luol Deng taking advantage of the matchup. He sees Tony Parker.
And picked up now by Duncan to Parker to Jefferson. Rose with the rejection inside. And here comes Chicago the other way.
The Bulls are a bigger team this year. We're going to see the referee stop the game here, Scott Foster. But the Bulls are a bigger team this year. Now in that backcourt, rather than Ben Gordon, who's a smallish two-guard, you see the beautiful block here by Derrick Rose. You have Derrick Rose, who's a very strong and compact guard. And now you have John Salmons back there at 6'7". Luol Deng now at the small forward. So the Bulls feel like they're a bigger team this year, and they hope it's going to help their team defense. Last year they improved offensively. If they're going to be a good team this year, they're going to improve defensively, Kevin.
Stoppage of play was because of a shot clock issue. They have fixed that. Salmons inside. Doug, he averaged 18 points a game. Rose, Noah, inside.
You can't guard the ball, you can't defend in this league. If you get broken down off the dribble, guys get in the paint, it just breaks down your whole defense. There's a floater, and that's what Luol Deng plays. He's a slasher, he's a cutter, getting in the paint. Great off the ball movement. 22 minutes, 7 of 10, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 5 on the offensive backboard. So gave them a real energy burst coming into that game.
That's a 3 by Salmons. You may have noticed a change in our score when he came back from the break. We've got time to tell you about it right now. Luol Deng hits a shot. Bonner and up to Heinrich. He'll have a wide open 3. And picked up by Gibson, who has started 0 of 3 and hits that one right there. Taj Gibson gets his first points in the NBA.
Bad habits, you play in games that don't matter, and so all of a sudden the value of the basketball is not nearly as important as it is when you're playing on a good team and you're trying to win a championship. Here is Derrick Rose, and that's the big part of his game he worked on all summer. It's what Tony Parker had to do when he came in. All those teams were slight stake, and then all of a sudden the light went on and played very well for them.
Rose wheels inside, goes over Ratliff, who's won 3 shot block titles in the NBA. And Rose fearless as he takes it in. He now has 4.
The defender giving him a lot of room. You try to, you try to just sort of build a wall. You try to just make him look at about 2 or 3 defenders. This time he does a nice job curling, coming off that screen. Tony McDyess is a little bit afraid to step up because Brad Miller can shoot that ball. So anytime you curl off a big man who can shoot the ball, Rose has the capability, or Heinrich. They're doing everything in their power for Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan to get a chance to win another championship.
Salmons 1 of 5, missing the 3 over Finley, picked up by Rose, who just picked up his second personal foul at the other end. Noah will set a screen on Parker. Rose is 2 of 4. That was over Parker. Good looking shot by Derrick Rose. Go inside. It's Heinrich to Rose, and Rose into Parker. Knocked away by Finley. Retrieved by Noah. Inside Rose! Oh, what a play! Give up on the play.
Look at Derrick Rose. Misses the shot. Joakim Noah once again a second shot opportunity. How about 20 points in the paint now? 18 points for the San Antonio, but 14 second chance points for Chicago. They have 8 offensive rebounds, 14-0 second chance points.
Luol Deng works on Michael Finley. Luol Deng, they need a healthy season out of him.
He loves that mid-post area.
As they can. Speaking of Deng, there was some question last year about maybe his toughness. Was he not putting out enough, and could he have made himself available for the playoffs in the end of the regular year? As they go inside, Heinrich, look at the ball rotation.
And Heinrich, this is a good lineup for them. This is a speed lineup, and they're taking advantage of it.
And Chicago is on a 9-2 run. Dancing with Duncan is Noah. Provides the defense right there. 4.
But be active, rebound, run the floor, block shots. That offense will come. That you can't get discouraged if you haven't scored. Just keep working. It'll come for you.
Good to see Luol Deng back out there again. And here's a shot by Tyrese Thomas, just as you're talking about, Doug.
They'll get that as the year goes on.
Rose, Thomas, Bonner comes out to meet him. 2 in a row for Tyrese Thomas.
Now just keep doing your work on the boards.
Shame that you hold the team under 40% and you're down, guys.
How about Thomas with the rejection? Then Bonner is there to fill it back up. Takes up number 1. Let's take a look at that block again.
See how Parker veers over in front of him, thinks he has the position, but Tyrese Thomas with a beautiful block At Bonner just sprinting the floor, does not give up on the play.
Stats, Duncan. Oh, a look-away pass. Parker couldn't get it. Picked up by Tyrus Thomas. Noah squeezes it inside with an assist right there to Luol Deng. Bonner for three. And Rose collects it. Rose has got 9 points. Parker's got 8. Doug talked about the battle of point guards tonight. Noah drives with a dive inside, working on Duncan, hit by Bonner.
Over 5 points a game. Look at their field goal percentage, Kevin, the point differential. And so we talked about last year, they were a team that could score. 18-11 after break. They go into the playoffs, a very confident team against the Boston Celtics. Obviously beat up without Kevin Garnett. Boston had to play a speed game because with no Garnett, they had to open the floor, and they played that game. 7 games, terrific games. We talked about it, 7 overtime periods. If I'm Noah, I got to crowd him now. I got to make him put the ball on the floor. He's in too good a shooting rhythm.
Rose, Thomas. Now McDyess comes out on him, but too late. Thomas has knocked down 3 field goals, Doug, in the third quarter.
We made that a much more difficult shot for Ginobili.
Deng for 2. Luol Deng, Doug, with 12. Clearing out for Duncan. They come over with Thomas with another knockaway right there, and a block shot, his 3rd. Galloping his summons the other way and bangs his way into Ginobili. And it was Thomas who starts it off here with the defense.
Well, Vinny Del Negro said they have to be a better defensive team, especially defending the paint. Tyrus Thomas has really been the difference, I think, in this third quarter. Yes, he's hit some shots, but he's had some nice defensive plays, some blocks. See, defense creates offense, Kevin. If you can get defensive rebound the ball, if you can get some steals, you get some block shots, that gives you the opportunity to run. You know, teams can't play when they turn the ball over. You can't get back, and that's when the Bulls will strike.
Put your hands together, America. George Lopez bringing the party back to late night. Lopez tonight, weeknights at 11:10 Central, starting November 9th, only on TBS. Rebound number 6.
Excuse me, Kevin. Brad Miller really putting his body up on Duncan, though, forcing him to take tougher shots, and Tyrus Thomas flying at him on that weak side, and there's Thomas.
How about Miller's pass, Doug?
Brad Miller can pass that ball. We talked about it at Sacramento. Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, running Rick Adelman's inverted offense. You had all the slashers and the cutters, the big men passing the ball. And this is contagious right here. You get big men making the extra pass. Brad Miller rewarding Tyrus Thomas. Remember I talked about you can't get discouraged, Tyrus. You got to keep moving, got to keep working. It'll start coming your way. He has been fantastic here in this third period. One of the
rebounding as well. Jefferson over Thomas.
His bad shots right there. You can just see they're out of sync right now. This bench last night that was so good. There's no rhythm tonight, and you got to give the Bulls credit with their defense.
2 of 15 shooting threes for San Antonio. This is Thomas outside over Blake. Basket will count. A shove inside. A San Antonio foul.
Committing the fewest fouls.
Gibson had picked up his 3rd personal foul. Rose over Parker. Rose has got 11. Parker has got 8. We talked about the battle of point guard. Chicago not much better. They're 3 of 13 beyond the arc. Oh.
If his ankle is sore, I want one of those. My. You talk about speed, strength. Look at this. This is against Tony Parker. Now watch the hesitation, changing his speed. Look at this reverse turn. But he's strong. I mean, he's got the power then to finish. So he's a combination of speed and power. I mean, Tony Parker is fast. He is fast and strong.
There's been a great influence on this kid, on this team, even as a rookie last year. He really sought out Lindsey Hunter, who's one of the captains. You mentioned him before. And a guy who can give a lot of advice to a young player like Rose.
Well, Lindsey Lee's been through the wars. He's won championships. He knows what this is about. Lindsey, you're not supposed to be yawning over there. Now we're talking about you're my guy. Now don't do that. You're a captain. Not much help, though, after that tonight. Nobody's been able to get into the rhythm. Tony Parker, 4 of 10. Ginobili, 3 of 10. So 7 for 20 for their 2 other stars.
It's Luol Deng. The defense by Jefferson. Deng with 14. 4th assist and 12 points.
The Spurs are going to have to play a perfect here, 320. They're going to have to get defensive stops. They're going to have to go down and execute. Right now, the Bulls in control of this game.
Well, they're on a 9-2 run right now, San Antonio. As you're saying, maybe go back to that championship poise they rely on so much.
Well, they need to get a defensive stop, and they've not been able to do that. Luol Deng knocking down open jump shots. He's 8 of 13, 16.7 rebounds, so he has played well. We go behind the back pass to Brad Miller, who loves to pass the ball from the high post. Tyrus Thomas, who was brilliant in that third quarter when the Bulls pushed it to a double-digit lead. And you see Brad Miller more excited about making the pass, setting up his fellow big man, Tyrus Thomas.
Miller. Duncan comes out on him. That's exactly what Miller wanted to happen.
They want to get off early so that as the team comes together and they improve, then when they go out on the road late in games, they can, late in the season, they can win those games and stay in the hunt for the seeding.
Salmon slices. Chicago Bulls. Great way for TNT to begin the season.
And I think we've got the Spurs in Utah next Thursday. I would expect the Spurs to have a little chip on their shoulder when we see them next Thursday.
We'll see you in Salt Lake City. Vinny Del Negro and the Bulls winning. We'll take a break, then take you to Portland.